Now entering the squared circle pit, the legendary Zakk Wylde.
Yes, I would go with the Berserker title, but remember the Berserker?
Of course, yes.
Never got a title. Never got a title shot. Never pinned anybody. He always won by throwing a guy out of the ring.
Yeah, well, by count out, that's right. And then he would run around going, Huss.
Yes, Huss. And remember Mr. Ito?
Mr. Fuji.
Mr. Fuji.
Yeah.
Was his manager.
Yeah. He was the one that had to calm him down and be like, it's okay, it's okay.
But it was so great.
Yeah.
Because he refused to pin anybody. He just beat the living piss out of him and then throw them out of the ring.
Suplex him out.
And then they would count out the guy, and then he'd go out and then pick the guy up, throw him over his shoulder, and walk him in the like he was like he was a dead deer or something like that.
Yeah, the Berserker had a pretty metal look. I mean, I guess that's
he was another one that never won.
Yeah.
And the Overlord.
The Warlord.
Warlord, I mean.
Yes.
The Warlord never won. I remember me and JD just going, why are they not ever giving him a title shot?
He's the most badass looking dude.
Yeah, because I was a Warrior guy.
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, he's 10 times the size of the Warrior. I mean, Warlord. I mean, but nothing ever happened with him either.
Yeah, so Ultimate Warrior is your favorite wrestler.
Yes.
I remember actually Chris Jericho told me this, so you were a huge Ultimate Warrior fan.
Huge Warrior guy.
What drew you to the Ultimate Warrior?
Oh, just as soon as you heard a dang, 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 it's game over.
Yeah. Pretty awesome intro music. He's running
best intro ever, and then him running out into the ring, shaking the ropes, the whole nine. None closer. I mean, no, he was awesome, man.
Yeah. So how did you get into wrestling? How old were you? And what do you remember the first time you watched it?
I'm trying to think. I remember my buddy Scotty had older brothers and everything. And they were obviously in Ivan Putski, Bob Backlund, superstar
so like
Billy
the
Graham.
70s now.
Yeah. So, I mean, which was amazing too. But yeah. So you had it was pretty much started there, but then obviously you had the 80s. But really started getting into it again when the Warrior came around.
Right. That's what kind of drew you back into wrestling.
Without a doubt.
And what are some of your favorite matches that you remember?
Well, obviously WrestleMania 6 was
Warrior Hogan,
the ultimate challenge. And my nephew, at the time, little Giro, he was a Hulkamaniac and massive, Hulkster Nation guy. So I think he was in they had to have suicide watch around them. And
I was the same way.
He was in a deep depression after the Ultimate Warrior just destroyed Hulkamania.
Yes. I remember watching it. Funny enough, I watched it in my elementary school. We had a special, everyone in the school went to the auditorium and we watched it.
To watch WrestleMania 6.
Yeah, the Monday after. And
wow.
It was insane. I can't believe that happened. Our principal was a wrestling fan, I guess, so he did it.
Well, the bottom line is that's a pretty cool school you were going.
Yeah. But I just remember I was in denial when I saw Hogan lost. I'm like, no, he's Hulk Hogan. He can't lose. How did he lose to the Ultimate Warrior?
Oh my God.
No, it's fake. It's fake. It didn't happen.
It was rigged. It was fake. They're gonna
change the result
again or whatever. Yeah.
But that was the Ultimate Warrior's big moment, and it was really cool. He had both the world titles.
And I mean, obviously the Hulkster gave him the hugs and everybody let Hulkamania Nation know I'm with this. We support this guy and we're with him and we're friends and yada yada yada. So no, it was that. But if you notice, I mean, how the Hulkster kicked out of it. Out of the pin.
After the 3.
So it looked like
he
didn't dominate him.
Yeah.
And he wasn't knocked out, and it wasn't a like he was unconscious
it wasn't like a super decisive victory.
Yes,
he just
exactly. It was
by.
just boom, he got right out of it. Just missed getting out of it. So I wasn't stunned, man. So that type of thing. So I think the way that match was definitely one of the greatest matches ever, because I'm saying the way they scripted it and the way and the way both guys performed.
Yeah, no. Also,
you could script it, but the guys got to perform it though.
Yeah. Because, both those guys aren't known for having, stellar matches. They're more about charisma and whatever. But I heard that the guy backstage, Pat Patterson, who was, the booker, he, move for move, he choreographed it, and they practiced it to make sure it was as awesome as it was. And it came out great.
They did a great job. Because I'm just saying that match was... Yeah, because everybody was going, well, who's going to win?
Right, yeah. It was one of the rare times in WWF where it was a face versus a face. Yeah, good guy versus
champion
good guy.
versus champion versus
Yeah,
champion.
that's true. Yeah, I think that was.
But like you said, good guy versus good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was weird. You know, I'm saying for the first time for them, it's almost like, you know, when DC and Marvel do like Spider-Man versus Superman, you know, like they're both good guys. So how me and you are gonna write this?
Right.
That they're gonna fight. Why would they fight? They're both good guys. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
like how would we make both of these guys look good?
Exactly. And then you know, for your company, you got to make your guy look good, and I got to make my guy look good. But
right.
Well, it's gonna be interesting now. Talk about that. What do you think about the new Batman Superman movie coming out?
Well, I think they basically gave away the whole movie in the trailer. I don't see there's a
really. I didn't see the trailer yet.
Oh well, if you're looking forward to seeing the movie, I'd recommend avoiding the trailer because you can tell like the whole movie, like the dissension that they have, and then I believe Doomsday is the villain. Like he comes in and they have to like work together, and then like Wonder Woman kind of comes in. And you just know what the whole movie is just from the trailer.
No, that's not good.
Yeah, but I'm still going to see
kind of
it.
like everybody.
Yeah.
One buddy comes out and he just posted, dude. He's just like, you know, Obi-Wan. He goes, dude, he's dead. He died in this one or whatever. You know, Han Solo.
Oh well, don't give it away. Yeah. Well, I guess by this point, if they haven't seen Star Wars,
my buddy's just like blasting at.
Yeah.
Like. When the movie just came out, I'm like, what are you, an idiot, man? He's like,
how dare you?
Well, everybody saw it, right? I go, I didn't see it. You know, it was like the day after the movie came out. But
same thing happened to me, too. I saw that spoiler, and like I was like, oh, well, great.
I just thought, actually, in the Star Wars one, I thought it was kind of a little weird. It was just kind of, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, son?
Yeah.
And, I mean... You know, being a father, you know, a dad of 4 children. Mm-hmm. One thing, absolutely, unbelievably clear as day, and you can't even hide it, is the horrendous parenting skills within the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Horrendous.
Everyone's got daddy issues.
No, but horrendous. You just drop your kid off in the middle of a desert somewhere. And, he'll be fine. You know, don't worry about it. What are you doing, man? Yeah. What are you doing? And I mean, you know, and then what is it? What's the new guys? Kylo
Ren.
Kylo Ren. It's just like, yeah, I knew this day would come. Remember when he comes out? He's like, son, why don't you just go home? And by the way, take off that silly, goofy mask. Will you? Look at me for a second. He's just like. I'm surprised you didn't just go, why don't you go fuck yourself, Pops? I have to do shit for you. Just drop me off. I'm a prom night garbage. What was Family Guy? I'm a prom night bitch, baby, whatever the hell it was. You know what I mean? No, I'm a prom night. What was it? What the hell's the name of that song? It says, he says basically, I'm a prom night dumpster baby.
There we go.
And I'm a prom night dumpster baby, you know. But the whole thing is, he goes, you clowns dropped me off in the middle of a dumpster, man.
Nice to you.
I don't have to listen to shit you got to say to me. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like, it's a miracle I still let you live this long. You know what I mean? It's just like, and then obviously Darth Vader, you know, he's just a complete douchebag. You know what I mean? As a dad, I mean, you know, so, and... dude, I mean, but you know what's so funny when you actually look at the whole Star Wars thing? I mean, how much they just played Darth Vader as a like a fiddle throughout the whole movie. I'm just saying how much he was manipulated.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, what happened to my wife? It's like, you killed her. You know, and it's just like.
I did.
What else did I do last night? How much did I drink last night? I mean, the whole movie is that with him.
They never go into Darth Vader's alcohol dependency. You never see that.
They should have. You know, I mean, it sounded like, how much did I drink? I got to lay off the crown, man. I mean, it's just like, I did what last night? I killed how many children? Remember, you know, when he butchered all the kids. It's just like, oh, there's no coming back from this one, man.
Oops.
I know there's still some good in him. This guy's an asshole, okay? No. And even whatever good is in him, we're still going to whoop his ass.
Yeah.
We'll knock that out of him, trust me. Now, this guy is an asshole.
Speaking of ass whoopings, I know that you're friends with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes, I just saw Steve the other day.
How are you guys doing?
Steve's doing great, man. Well, he's so busy doing all the other stuff now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the 2 TV shows going on and everything like that. But it was great catching up with him. So hopefully I'll do like his podcast now, and he's got all the other stuff. Just to catch up with him. Yeah, Steve's awesome. Love the Father Steve. And Steve's another one. You got to throw him up there with the Warrior. Well, if you think about all the iconic big guys, superstar Billy Graham.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though you have Bob Backlund was the champ.
Yeah, like superstar Billy Graham was the star.
Was the icon.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, even though he wasn't, he was winning.
A champ. Yeah,
he was a champ. But I mean, Bob was always the Father Backlund was the baby face.
Yeah.
So, but the whole thing is, it was like you had Superstar, then the Hulkster, and then after the Hulkster, obviously Warrior, and then it was Stone Cold.
Yeah,
it was that carried the company.
Yeah. What about like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels? Were you watching around that time?
Yeah, they were also. Yeah, they were amazing as well.
What, do you remember like how you first met Steve Austin? Like how did that?
I forget how we met. I mean, we were down. Oh no, through Jim Dotson, I think. God bless his soul. But Jim was a buddy of ours. He did security with the WWE, and we met. I probably met Steve through Jim. And, The Undertaker, and the Taker and Kane and all the guys. And I think that I'm trying to think how I met Father Jericho. Because I dug Chris before I actually met him.
Right.
Because when Chris first came out, dude, he was hysterical. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, when he first came out, we were like, dude, have you seen this guy, Chris Jericho?
With The Rock, you mean? Like
no, it was even before
WCW?
that when he first came out.
Yeah.
When he had his hair in the bonsai.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Like when he had the Ralphus. Do you remember?
Yeah,
he had the security?
Totally. No, he was hysterical.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just saying, because like you said, you could be the most amazing wrestler on the planet.
Yeah.
But if you can't do the promos and you have no personality, it's just kind of like what's here.
Right.
What am I watching here?
What do I care? Yeah, you got to give me something to cling on to.
Exactly. I'm just saying, it's just like a rock band or whatever. It's like, they're all great musicians and everything, but whatever, What am I supposed to? What are we gravitating towards?
Have you hung out backstage at like a wrestling show?
But
or
what at a
like
WWE match?
Yeah. What's the vibe like compared to like the backstage at like a metal show? Is it similar or like?
No, I mean they're working the whole time. I mean I'm just saying, but it's kind of the same. But I mean, I think with the wrestlers, it's more almost kind of circus type thing.
Right.
Whereas like you guys are up right now, we're on in 10 minutes after this, and then you know what I'm saying.
Everyone has to hit their cue and everything and be at the right
everybody's.
Spot.
Yeah, and then like even like Triple H and all the guys, they'd sit there and watch the teleprompters while they're watching me and you wrestle or watching our promos, and because they're involved with the whole thing.
Right. They have to react to whatever happens as it's going on.
It's busy. I mean, everybody, with the fake wrestling. I mean, put it this way, dude. They the most insane professional stuntmen on the planet.
Exactly.
And they get hurt all the time. What I mean, bro, I slip out of your hands one time. I mean, dude, I can get banged up really bad, man. So I mean, the whole thing is
it's predetermined. It's not fake.
Well,
fake would imply that it's like,
but still, I mean, the bottom line is they're getting lumped up every night, man. I mean, it's like professional stuntmen. So I mean, the whole thing is and they're doing it like 300 and what are they doing? Like 330 shows a year, man. I mean, and traveling.
Yeah. I can't imagine like driving 5 hours and then having to like do that. And
they
have to drive their own.
I always thought it would be, because I'd always ask Chris and the guys, I'd go, but why don't they just why don't you get like 10 years together and just rent the tour bus, for the month? So this way you guys could, right after the match, get on a bus.
Don't worry
have a couple, if you want to have a couple cocktails, you have a couple cocktails, relax, watch a movie while you're driving 12 hours to the next gig. And then you can just crawl in your bunk and go to bed.
Yeah.
And just relax. And I'm saying, especially if your shoulder's killing you, your back's killing you.
Right.
You don't have to drive yourself another 10 hours. Whereas if me and you were just in a car, I'll drive 5. Then, when I'm ready to pass out, I'll pull over and then you'll take over and drive us the rest of the way.
Right.
For the next match.
So what did he say when you suggested that?
They were like, no, you know what, Zach, we're always together all the time.
I see.
So we just kind of, it's nice when we can just get away from each other for a little bit, and it just driving by ourselves is just like therapeutic, man.
Right. Okay, I can see that.
And then I completely understand that, man. Yeah. But I just figured, I'm just trying to picture if we'd managed Guns N' Roses back in the day. And it's like, has anyone seen Slash and Duff? We're going to expect them to drive to the next gig.
Right. It's pretty ridiculous. Do you expect your talent?
How many liquor stores were on the way to that next show?
Yeah.
Wait, how many liquor stores
3
are from
states
Boston
over?
to New York? How many?
Do you remember when you're when you would go to the matches? Did you go in the 70s to like the Guard? Because I know you're from Jersey.
No, I never went back then. I remember the match. I started going when obviously with Warrior and stuff like that. I remember going to the LA Sports Arena. We saw Warrior versus Mr. Perfect.
Oh, nice.
And then and Mr. Perfect was awesome as well.
Yeah.
His promos were me and JD. Because JD's a huge wrestling fan too. So, but we always talk about the guys that we really dig. Like obviously Macho Man. With his friggin' hysterical.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Perfect was definitely right up there. He could hang in the same room with with the Macho Man. Sit at that table as far as pure awesome comedy. Like why you love the guy just because it's you love watching his promos because you're cracking up laughing the whole time. And then I'm trying to think. But I remember and then I saw the retirement match with the Warrior versus
Macho Man. That was legendary. With
at the sports arena.
Oh, at WrestleMania 7, yeah.
Yeah, which was crazy because the one before the WrestleMania 6 was at the Sky Dome.
Yeah, in Toronto. Yeah,
like 80,000 people.
Well, I think they were going to have it at the LA Stadium, like there was a football stadium, but the tickets were so shitty that they had to move it indoors because they were doing that.
That's insane. That's like probably the smallest that WrestleMania ever did it in.
Yeah. Well, they were doing that angle with Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter being the Iraqi sympathizer, and everyone was kind of like they were getting a lot of heat for doing the Iraqi sympathizer thing. Like imagine them doing that now, like a Bin Laden, like an ISIS sympathizer. No way, never.
No,
I can't imagine that.
I don't think we'd want to script that one in.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
We'll just take that script idea and file it under ungood.
I bet it's been pitched, but they were just like, no, we can't. We can't.
Oh
we
yeah,
can't
so I guess that's why it didn't do well. But but I mean,
but that retirement match was amazing. That was so cool.
That was done really well too. Yeah. And like I remember, the Hulks were talking about Randy, with the Macho King. He just said one thing about Randy though, because he was so pro.
Yeah.
And and I'm sure he went, with the Warrior, just like, dude, we really got to work this match out, so it's crushing.
Yeah, it crushed. And then now at the end of that match, of course, Queen Sherry turns on Macho Man, and then Miss Elizabeth runs out and saves the Macho Man and beats up Sherry and throws her out of the ring.
Yes.
Did you tear up at their reunion? Were you getting emotional?
Yes, we were all high-fiving, me and my buddies, and I just said, this is so awesome, they're back together!
I agree. I thought that was such a great moment, and I loved Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth was always just like, so she seems so classy and like so above wrestling.
Exactly.
Just because she didn't say anything ultimately. Like if you look back, it's like she's just some broad.
and then being a young child, and then fondling your man root.
Right, exactly.
Fisting your prostate as a young boy.
I skipped the prostate tickling, but
no, but I did it back then myself just to make sure I was regular and to make sure I had a clean bill of health.
You didn't want any cancer.
Hey, listen, health first.
We were also talking about when I walked in, I'm wearing a Macho Man shirt. You mentioned the Macho Man's music career, his epic EP of hip hop.
I have that
anthems,
album at the house, actually.
Be a Man. When you first heard Macho Man was making a rap album, what was your reaction? Were you into it? Were you?
Well, just anything the Macho Man's going to do, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I just love just his track calling out Hulk Hogan, Be a Man, Hulk, and face me in the ring.
What was that all about? I've seen footage of it not too long ago when he was just going the Coward Fund and the whole 9 yards.
I think he was just calling out Hogan he always didn't trust Hogan. Because to be fair, Hogan was kind of the master politician backstage, like you were saying, how like he kicked out of the Ultimate Warriors thing like right at the end. Like that's kind of like an old carny move to not look weak. And he would
but you know what? You know what just always blows me away when you ever hear about these feuds or whatever,
like the politics in wrestling
and the politics involved. I mean, we know it's like, guys, we're all rolling together.
Yeah,
nobody wants to make anybody look bad, and
right.
And it's just like, no problem. I'm gonna pin you, but definitely kick out so it looks like oh, he didn't really have him. So we always have that. You know, I mean, you have to have that.
Let's have everyone look strong.
So it's all good.
Well, what I was getting at was that like Macho felt that Hogan undercut him, like when they were in WCW and whatever, and like Hogan would try to make himself look better than Macho Man. So that's what that was about. Like, be a man and face me in the ring so I could prove to you.
Well, I think it was even more than that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a whole, I mean, because it was ugly. I mean, Randy was just like, no, I want to really fight this guy.
Yeah, and I think
wrestling. I want to actually
you want to beat
the piss out of the guy, man. And he just goes, you know, why don't you? He goes, what about the kids? He goes, all the proceeds will go towards the children.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm going to put up $10,000 of my own money for this coward to get in the ring. I was just like, what the hell's going on here, man? And he goes, what, like get him in the ring for a wrestle match? He goes, no, a real fight.
Yeah.
I mean, bare knuckles. Bare knuckles, MMA, but except no rules. You know what I mean? And it was just like, okay. It's just like, wow.
Macho, you realize it's predetermined.
He's
an
pissed
actor.
off, dude.
Yeah.
He's pissed, and he's had enough. Or you just make it a back alley match to the death.
Yeah,
and
like
then
a nice street fight.
You know, two guys walking to a back alley, one guy comes out, and then that's it. And no, it's not about money at all. I'm going to kill you, bro. You know, it's just, you know, I guess, you know, and no pay-per-view. Just
let's
fight. No cameras,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but it's just like, wow. It's just like, what happened here?
Sadly, though, that never happened, and we lost Macho Man.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just nuts. I mean, it was just like when I was seeing that thing. But I mean, it's just like, and then the Ultimate Warrior had beefs with Hogan too. You know, on you know, when the Warrior would have his rants on the thing.
Yeah. Those rants were, I got to be honest, they were a little uncomfortable to watch sometimes.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on here?
He basically called Hogan a homosexual, and he said that him and Brutus the Barber Beefcake had a long-term relationship, had a long-term affair while Hogan was married to his wife Linda.
Oh, and then the whole thing of like the Hulkster, and he was putting it out there that, you know, he wanted everyone sleeping with his wife. And I'm like going on these rants.
Yeah, like, dude, turn off your camera.
I'm like, what's going on here, man?
Yeah, it's kind of weird when they like get out of wrestling and they just haven't been in front of the camera for a while, and then they kind of seek attention somehow. I don't know. It's just like, get off. Stop ruining my childhood memories.
Just shattered and destroyed.
Yeah. So you mentioned Undertaker earlier. Have you hung out with the Undertaker? Because I'm kind of curious. Like, what's he like?
No, well, you know, just backstage and stuff like that. When we go down and see Chris and stuff like that with Father Jericho. But and Kane. I mean, all the guys that are there, the Big Show and all the guys. I mean, all sweethearts, all great guys and sweethearts, man. I mean, you know, like I said, those guys are the hardest working guys in show business, man. Hands down.
And so you and Jericho are really good friends. I remember I interviewed him, and he even
love the Father Christopher. Father Jericho's the man.
You guys party, and like, how did you feel when you heard that he's starting a band? Like back when Fozzy was first starting.
I love it. I mean, Chris, like you said, I'm gonna do this, man. You know what I mean? He's like, I love music, and I mean, as much as I love wrestling, I love music, and
he's a performer.
I'm gonna do this, man, because I love singing. I love when me and the guys get together and we do our thing, and I love Father Rich on the fiddle over there. So I've been friends with Rich for years.
Yeah,
you know him with the Stuck Mojo thing and everything like that. But so I think it's great, man.
So Chris is doing metal. Have you ever considered doing pro wrestling, getting into the ring? Because I mean, you have the look.
Yeah, I look like a complete clown. So you know, you have the look.
No.
What look is that?
The look of somebody that kicks somebody's ass.
You look like a complete douchebag. Okay. Let's just go.
No.
What? Yes, that's right. Douchebag. I can hear the crowd now. Douchebag. Douchebag. So the whole thing is.
Douchebag Zakk Wylde, that's your gimmick?
Oh, my God.
No, I don't know if
he's not teabagging. He's douchebagging.
That's the shirt.
But the whole thing is. No, I love the wrestling thing, but no, I never thought about it or anything. I mean, I'm just just music.
Right.
But
I don't know if you remember, there was a faction in the late '90s called the Disciples of Apocalypse. It was Crush, Brian Lee, and the Harris Twins, and they were just like a biker gang. I feel like
I kind of remember a bit of that.
Yeah, I feel like you could have fit in there. You could have been the leader of the gang. And,
nice.
And then like you could always, like you don't even have to wrestle. You could be like a Bobby Heenan or Mr. Fuji, where you're the consultant.
I could be a manager.
Right.
I could definitely be the manager for sure.
You manage the freaks, and then when needed, you'd run into the ring and hit somebody with a chair.
And I hire other people to come help us.
Right.
Bribing people and stuff like that. You know what
Bobby Heenan was my favorite. He was like my favorite. The
managers are. There's not that many managers anymore.
Yeah, no.
What happened?
In the '90s, they just wanted like females, like some eye candy, so they kind of got rid of the manager. But now they're,
with the Miss Elizabeth and everything, it started from there.
Yeah.
But I mean,
now I guess Brock Lesnar has Paul Heyman.
Like you said, Mr. Fuji.
Yeah. No,
all these guys were great, man.
Yeah.
Bobby Heenan.
Was great. Jimmy Hart.
And Jimmy Hart was great. And then who else?
Trying to think.
What was it? Flash.
Slick. Classy Freddie Blassie.
Yeah, Freddie Blassie.
Captain Lou Albano.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
Lou Albano was great. But the managers were great, man.
Yeah.
I know. And then what's his face? The Undertaker's manager.
Oh, Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer.
Yes,
That's
of course.
so great, man. And he's got the urn all the time.
How could you forget? Yeah.
But I mean, but that's great. What's your name? Paul Bearer. It's like Mr. Bookman.
Yeah.
And he works at a bookstore. I'm Paul Bearer.
Yeah.
And my guy is the Undertaker. Oh, wow.
Well, how did you choose your profession, Paul? Right. Well, I was kind of born into it.
Was that your name before you started managing him?
His real name.
That's an amazing coincidence.
His real name is Percy Pringle. It's even weirder than
dude. That sucks. And he passed away now.
Yeah. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. So he's gone, and then the wrestling thing is crazy. I mean, because how many musicians just died just recently?
Right.
Between Scott Whelan passing away, David Bowie, Glenn Frey. I mean, it's just
Lemmy, of course.
All these, amazing artists just passing away. I mean, that in that kind of succession.
Yeah.
Within like a month, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was wild.
But it is crazy how many wrestlers have passed away.
It's tough on your body, man. And also the concussions and everything now. Like, they kind of stopped doing chair shots to the head or any sort of impact to the head because of all this research with concussions in football and everything now.
Doubt, man.
So they're pretty serious about that stuff.
No, but I mean, that's the risk of playing contact sports, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I played football when I was just in Pop Warner, you love the contact and everything.
Yeah.
That's part of the game.
Right, yeah.
But like you said, you can't, that's part of that sport.
Yeah.
It's like boxing. That's part of the sport. You hit the other guy.
You hit the guy in the head. Yeah,
MMA, that's part of it. You hit the other guy.
Well, but in wrestling, though, it's performance. So it's like you want to have longevity there. So, the match wouldn't be that much more impacted if you avoided headshots. Like, I feel in wrestling, it's avoid. Like, I get what you're saying.
Because,
nothing
for nothing, you're still getting hit with a chair.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's planned that I'm going to hit you with a folding chair.
Yeah.
But there's still a dent in that chair.
Right. No, it hurts.
It's still a dent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm still like, bro, I nailed you with that one. Are you okay? And you're like, Zach, I mean, that one I was literally dead. I was dazed that time, man. I mean, like last night was no problem, but I mean, tonight, dude, like everything kind of went in and out for a couple seconds, and before you grabbed me and picked me back up again, I was kind of like, I didn't even know where I was at.
Can you imagine that, like being in the middle of the ring and getting like a stinger or like getting the wind knocked out of you?
Father Dudley, Bubba was telling me Chris nailed him one time, and he said he was like beyond. Like really messed up.
Right.
And I think he found out later on he had a concussion. Like just hit him with a chair or something like that.
Oh yeah, I think this was during the tables, ladders, and chairs. Yeah, he got a concussion at the end of the match, and he had to get to his cue, and he was so dumbfounded that he didn't know what he was doing.
Obviously it was an accident.
Cause, no one intentionally.
Everybody knows what they're doing in there. But
yeah.
I mean, it's just like you said. I mean, it's just like even as careful as you are.
Yeah.
Stuff happens, man.
There's a lot of metalheads in the wrestling world now. The Dudleys, Jericho, Triple H, I know is a metalhead.
Totally.
I think that's really cool. What do you think the link is between the two? Do you think there's it's similar mindsets are required?
I think it's just even the link is there between sports and music. You know what I mean? Musicians and athletes. You know what I mean? I think it's like, you know, they always say, like, athletes want to be musicians, musicians want to be athletes, and all that, you know what I mean? All that type stuff. So, no, it's all good.
Mm-hmm. And do you still keep up with it, or are you?
It's just another reason for us all to get together.
Yeah.
Back when I was drinking, you know, to get together and have a cocktail. But now, you know, I just sniff glue and eat paint chips. But I mean, you know, so it's a reason to get. Hey, the results are still the same. I wake up in the morning with my pants around my ankles, and all the fellas are like, "We had a great time last night."
Are you going to be watching WrestleMania this year? Do you still try to keep up with it? Or
yeah, I'll still watch it every now and then. I mean, it's just
you're a little busy.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't, you know, it's just, I mean, I know JD's just like, he'll watch like 2 seconds now, and he's just like, man, and he's completely like, it was better
before
when we were younger.
Yeah,
and I go, well, now I go, oh, don't start sounding like a grumpy old man. You know what I mean?
Well, like, do you guys
do? Nah, he's like, what we had was better.
Do you watch for the action or the characters? Like, what drew you in?
Exactly. Like, JD loved Junkyard Dog was another one of his guys. So, you know, he just thinks the characters were better and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I mean, that's JD's take on it. But but don't tell that to anyone any of the new kids that, you know, like my nephew and yourself that are like, man, Hulk Hogan was way better. And they're like, no, John Cena smokes Hulk Hogan. You know what I'm saying?
Get out of here.
Without it, no,
shut the door.
What I'm just saying is like that, you know, now your nephew would say to you, you know,
right, yeah,
no, John Cena's the greatest, you know what I mean?
Because he grew up on John Cena.
Exactly. And then you saying Hulk Hogan was the greatest, it would just be like Superstar Billy Graham smokes him, man.
Well, I think Ric Flair is the greatest, for the record.
Oh, Rick is
the nature boy.
I mean, how much more funnier can you get than
him?
I mean, he's amazing, dude. His promos and just his personality.
Yeah, just the way he would wrestle, the way he would, like, fly around the ring for everyone. Like, everyone just beat him up.
Dude, it was hysterical, man. I mean, he's amazing, too, because it's just pure, awesome entertainment.
Yeah, he's a star that has transcended wrestling. I feel like rappers emulate him, and like football players, you always see everyone doing the strut and the move.
He's hysterical, man.
He's the best.
I mean, his promos are beyond priceless, and just everything. His matches are priceless. I mean, it's just he's like the whole package.
Yeah,
hands down.
Absolutely. Zakk, I want to thank you so much for spending half an hour. We're doing this at like 9:30 in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Without a doubt.
And this was so much fun talking to you about pro wrestling. I want to quickly mention you're breaking away from your tag team, the Black Label Society, for a singles run.
Yes, I'm going on the solo run over here with the Book of Shadows, too, because, you know, we'd be rolling around with all the chapters worldwide. Mm-hmm. And we'd always be getting asked the question whether we're with the Boston chapter, the Canadian chapter, the Australian chapter, the London chapter, I mean, anywhere. And
you guys are like the
Sweden
NWO.
chapter. You know, it's just like, Zakk, you ever going to pump out another one of those Book of Shadows records? Because I dig the mellow stuff or whatever. I was just like, you know what? Yeah, they said, you know, I can't believe it's a 20-year anniversary. So it's just like, I guess.
I should get my shit together.
Yeah, let's do another one of these records. So yeah, I mean that's how that came about, man.
Awesome.
So,
When's
I'm
that
really
coming
happy
out?
with the way it came out, man. So I guess it's going to come out April 4th, which would be April 8th. 2 years to the day at Catacomb